All right, man, peace. So, brothers, all throughout the 2000s, during the Vitaly and Vladimir Klitschko era in boxing, the heavyweight division seemed to be going through a series of doldrums, which appeared to have come to an end with the rise of great fighters like Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, as well as this brother right here by the name of Jarrell Big Baby Miller. He right now is right there underneath those top level fighters, and he's approaching the level where he's going to have to start challenging for world titles, or they're going to have to start giving him the opportunity to challenge for world titles. He recently stopped by the studio here to speak about what he thinks about the controversy surrounding the Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder split decision draw. And in addition to that, he's going to throw a few jibes at Deontay Wilder. So, of course, they're going to talk about it, and I'm going to chime in.
Welcome back to TV Sports. I'm here with Van Lathan and Michael J. Balco. A very special guest. Van, tell the world who this is.
Jarrell Big Baby Miller, bro. Let me tell you guys something right now. This guy's a top 5 heavyweight, and
This brother is very talented in the ring, but due to the fact that he clearly does not take his conditioning very seriously, he's never going to be able to break into the upper crust. So it's all going to be up to him how far he wants to go in his boxing career. Because when you compare him to what Deontay Wilder does in preparation for his big fights, or Anthony Joshua, it's obviously nowhere near in comparison. Because, I mean, give me a break. Look at this dude. The brother looks like an overweight gay ballerina. I mean, what the hell's going on here?
I think, personally, is going to be the dude that throws a huge monkey wrench into this division in 2019. Big, strong, fast, and he hits hard.
He's a very good boxer. There's no doubt about that. But there's a huge leap from the level that he's at right now and the level that he claims he wants to get to. And in order for him to compete on that level, he's going to have to take his conditioning far more seriously.
I'm happy to have you on TMZ Sports today, bro.
How you doing, Big Baby?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. Feel awesome.
Nigga name is Big Baby. He's in the back eating Snicker bars and lemon heads and now laters and shit.
Wonderful weather in LA compared to Brooklyn, so can't complain.
Man, welcome to town, man. It's good to have you here. You're a big dude. You're 6'4". How much you weigh?
6'4", 320, and I'm not counting a Happy Meal I just ate before I got here, but
This cat says his dimensions are 6'4", 320. Now, brothers, please keep in mind that in his last bout, Deontay Wilder's measurements were 6'7" in height, 209 pounds in weight. So, once again, the conditioning disparity is way too large. And guys like this, Big Baby, they come along every generation in boxing. Every generation, there's a couple of fighters like him who are very talented, but who just do not take their fitness seriously enough. Even back in the Ali era, there was a fighter by the name of Buster Mathis. Big fat boy with man titties, could fight his ass off. I believe he even beat Joe Frazier in the amateurs. Got to the professionals, was a great fighter, but he could never go anywhere because he was big and fat. Ali beat him. I believe Ali stopped him, if I remember correctly. And his son went on to become a fighter as well, Buster Mathis Jr. He had the same body as his dad. This dude here, Jarrell Big Baby Miller, he's very talented, but he's cutting himself short. No, he's putting a cap on his own potential by the fact that he does not like to work out. It's very clear. And he does not like to eat healthy enough to be able to compete with the fighters at the elite level.
You got a big fight that you're trying to set up for January. What can you tell us about that?
January 19th, we're looking at MSG, be my first fight of the year. We have a very busy 2018. Well, hopefully we get Trevor Bryan for the WBA regular title. So let's see if he's scared or...
WBA regular title. In other words, that's just another way for the sanctioning bodies to concoct different levels of championships and different levels of champions to force these various fighters to have to face one another as quote-unquote mandatories. And if they don't, they're going to strip the fighter so that the fighter has to fight for the belt again. That's how they keep the merry-go-round going. Because in all reality, there should only be one champion per sanctioning body. But these sanctioning bodies, they create super champions and regular champions and all this other nonsense.
Or, he'll put his money where his mouth at. But he's signed with Don King, so Don is like picking up the phone. I don't know why, though. Heard he's running the IRS.
No, Don is scared it's going to be Mike Tyson on the other line. Bring. Hello, only in America. Hello, is this Don King? You Afro-having bastard. Do you know you owe me $500 million? Don, let me tell you something, brother. Right now I'm outside of your house, butt naked in an SUV. The only thing that I have on is a pair of boxing gloves. That's it. I swear I'm going to knock you out, butt naked, Don King. And I'm going to take every last penny that you have in your house. All $500 million. I know you got it in your house, Don King. I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
Jarrell, super pumped. I hope that happens.
Yeah.
You and Deontay Wilder have been going back and forth a little bit. You actually talked to Van last week about Deontay. Is that a fight that you would actually like to happen? Would you like to step in there with Wilder?
Of course, we don't call him Deontay Wilder in Brooklyn. We call him Beyonce Wilder. Because he's pretty good when he gets on the microphone.
He said they call him Beyonce Wilder. That'd be a fun fight. Deontay Wilder versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller in Brooklyn. That'd be a great, great fight.
But listen, man.
He's a good talker.
Yeah, I don't know how good he is. He sounds like a girl when he cries on the phone, but I don't know. But you know, we're hoping we get Beyonce Wilder sometime next year. If AJ Anthony Joshua doesn't pick up the phone either, but there's a lot of opportunities out there, and I hope one of them I get the punch in the face.
You been beating people.
So many of these sanctioning bodies, they need to start mandating more of these fights, because there's no reason why Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder should be avoiding anyone of this person's caliber. This brother's a very good boxer. If he decides that he wants to get into the ring with one of those cats and weigh 320 pounds, then they're just going to have to give him a boxing lesson, knock his ass out, and show him that he has to take his craft far more seriously than he does. It's cool. He has the effervescent, vivacious personality. He got the swag. He has the knockout power. But sometimes you have to be shown that there's a difference between an A-class fighter and a B-class fighter. And if he indeed is an A-class fighter, give him a chance to show it in the ring. These sanctioning bodies, they have to start mandating more fights.
People up for a very long time. I gotta ask you a question I'd love to ask to professional fighters like you. Do you remember the first time that you punched somebody in the face and decided I'm good at this and I want to make this my career?
Man, there's a couple of different epiphanies when that happened. I can't remember exactly when I picked one, but I think it's when I went to McDonald's and they told me I have no more Big Macs left, and that lady
Punched somebody in the face over a
Yes,
Big Mac?
yes, I think it was the manager. He got a good right hook that day.
So let me ask you this seriously. You don't have what a lot of people would say is the typical heavyweight body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I say that he does not have the ideal heavyweight body. And that's why I stated in a previous video in regards to Deontay Wilder. Kudos to him for bringing back that athletic build that was so common in the heavyweight division back in the 80s especially, when you had guys like Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield and Frank Bruno, etc. Heavyweight fighters who very clearly trained very hard every day in preparation for the fight.
You're a big body, and you use that in the ring. I watch you. I can't remember who the guy was you were fighting. What's the guy? Gerald Washington.
Yeah.
And the guys were like, Washington, like Miller's just crowded Washington. It won't give him room to breathe.
Wow, Miller's really crowding Washington along the ropes in the corner. He's on him like a hot dog with everything on it. Relish, mustard, ketchup, everything that works. Wow.
There. Do you feel like that ever holds you back in your career, that people might look at you and not think that you can go to rounds and stuff like that?
You know, I kind of call myself a Chick-fil-A sandwich. You know it's not the best thing for you, but just love it and you keep going back for more. And that's Big Baby. Don't matter.
Yes, brother, and remember that comparison that you made for yourself. You're a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Something that might appear good to the eyes, but is not going to be good for you. In other words, you're going to end up being just an opponent to elite level heavyweights in the heavyweight division. You're not championship material. You yourself have put that notion forth and made us to have to understand that, unfortunately.
What it looks like or what it tastes like, you're going to want some more Big Baby. So listen, you can't hate on it. If you think you can beat it, then fight me. You know what I mean? That's what I tell people all the time. You know, I'm 300 pounds of this, a big, loving, fighting machine.
Yeah, I'm sensing a theme here, by the way. You mentioned fast food now twice.
Yes.
I've seen Big Baby fight numerous times. He's very talented, but once again, he's just too fat to beat any of these top guys.
Listen, we trying to get that sponsorship money.
But maybe I'll be wrong. Who knows? Maybe he'll get in there with Anthony Joshua, who's very chinny. Might catch him with something.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, you're trying to get that sponsorship money. All right, this is the deal. Let's say you get it done, right? You become the man. You fight Wilder. You beat him. You fight Joshua. You beat him. You become something we haven't had in a long time, which is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world.
Which is a big fat dude with all the belts.
Correct.
Which fast food joint is going to be your victory meal?
So
Where you gonna go?
Okay, so first of all, I can't pick directly one because the other guy's gonna feel like it's better than the other one. So we're gonna name our top. We name 5 of them, right?
Right.
We got, of course, you got number 1, the Big Mac.
Right.
It's gonna extra sauce. You can't even argue about the Big Mac. And number 2,
Mac.
the Big Baby Mac. I like that.
See, I'm already
I like it. 5% on that one. Here we go. We got Burger King. We gotta go with the Whopper. And Chick-fil-A. I like Chick-fil-A, but they close on Sundays though. I don't know, man. That hurts everybody to the heart. And what else? Who's you got? We got Pizza Hut. I'm a big Pizza Hut fan.
Right.
And I think number 5. I think about it. Checkers is getting kind of big, but I like Bobby Flay's Burger Palace a lot though. It's pretty good stuff.
I'm gonna tell you
I'm
something.
concerned about you and success, though. I am. I'm concerned because the more money you get, the more successful you're gonna get. I just feel like you're just gonna eat a lot.
Thank you, sir. And kudos to you for being that honest, because that is all he's going to do. This is the type of dude, if he ever was to win a heavyweight championship, he's just going to eat himself out of the weight class. He's going to eat himself into super duper heavyweight, into a weight class that does not even exist. That happened to Buster Douglas. Like Buster Douglas, he beat Tyson and, he just ate himself out of contention. And, they're just fighters like that. They're just not buttoned up. They feel like they reached a certain mountaintop, a certain pinnacle, and that's it. They're not really self-motivated. You have other elite level fighters like a Floyd Mayweather or like an Evander Holyfield back in the day. Even though Evander was not the most talented fighter, because of his elite level of conditioning, it allowed him to compete with elite level heavyweights. And I'm sure people are going to say, well, Evander was on roids. It is what it is. A lot of those guys in that era were on roids. A lot of these guys today are on PEDs. Point being is this: the dedication to physical fitness is going to take you up a whole other level. A level that this brother will never be able to get to, because he's at the very least 90 pounds overweight.
You get too big.
Oh man, never. You can never eat too much. You gotta know how to train it.
Listen, George Foreman is watching this segment right now and he's smiling.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Right, but let's keep one thing in mind. George Foreman was ripped back in the 70s when he was young. Go look up George Foreman from the 68 Olympics all the way through the mid-70s. He was ripped. Had a six-pack, everything. Now, when he came back into heavyweight boxing in the mid-80s, that's when he had the pot belly and all those other things. And, of course, as he fought into the early 90s, the pot belly got bigger and bigger and bigger. But he was still an unbelievable puncher. Evander Holyfield is on record as stating that George Foreman is the hardest puncher that he ever got into the ring with. And that includes Mike Tyson, that includes Lennox Lewis, that includes Riddick Bowe. So George Foreman's punching power is without question unmatched in the history of the heavyweight division. That includes Ernie Shavers, that's Joe Frazier, that's Mike Tyson, that's whoever you want to name.
That's a man who loves and appreciates a good burger.
Hey, George Foreman, holla at your boy, and we come on to George Foreman Big Baby Grill Part 2. You know what I'm saying?
But anyway, we'll see what the future holds for Mr. Jarrell Big Baby Miller. Hopefully the best for him. Peace.